The flying ninjas are not working. And I'm sure it has something to do with the restrictiveness of like the flying harness rig that the dancer has on, but it's not giving the physicality that it needs to give. Like when he comes flying at her in the beginning, not only is it like kind of like this slow motion, his neck is so far into his shoulders that it's not like intimidating at all. Also, the lightsaber move she goes to like make it look like she just clears him doesn't even come close to look like she's playing it so safe in that moment. Like, I don't know. And then when she goes to like do the run away from him and into the next transition part, she's running with like no urgency. She just looks so gassed out. She looks so tired. It kind of reminds me of when I judge dance competitions, and between the transitions of the sections of a dance, the students will just do like these traveling steps, but they're still not traveling with any urgency. Like that's still part of like the dance, even though you don't think of it like a step. Here. See, like what is that? You see him right here? Probably just because like she's so exhausted, but like, okay, let's look at this next part after that weird little run. Let's just move on. What is happening? Also, in this moment right after the weird geriatric staff shaking moment, this is confusing. She literally looks like she's lost in a rehearsal or something, but I think that she's trying to give acting for whatever part of the storyline comes next. But there's something about the way that she's choosing to act that makes it look like she's lost on stage, not specifically intentionally like acting in a piece. Does that make sense?
It kind of reminds me of when I did flash dance for my senior solo. I would try to make it seem like really intense and everything, and my teacher basically told me, you just look like you're mad at yourself. You look like you don't want to be on stage. You look like you're having a hard time with your solo, not like you're actually intentionally acting, in the piece as the character dancing. And that's kind of what Katy Perry is giving here. Like,
it looks like Katy Perry lost. It doesn't look like whatever Katy Perry, the character in this tour, is doing. I don't know where in the tour this falls, but she literally looks so exhausted here. Here's the thing. If we're not actually dancing, which is totally understandable because that's a big part of like how you intelligently put together a tour, because the singers have to like find moments to catch their breath and things like that, then the moments of physicality when they're not dancing still have to be even stronger because you're doing less. There still has to be active energy. I think what's really happening here is that the lightsaber that she has is probably like a little bit delicate, so she's not able to like really ram it into the ground with energy like she needs to, but that really affects the impression that it gives. And that also doesn't make up for the weird way that she's not like really like punching the air when she throws her staff into the air. Like, watch this. It's so sloppy. It's so sloppy. Again, I guess it's the prop, but physically we have to find a way to make that work. There's no accent, there's no percussion, there's no snap on some of these moments. It's just like, that's why she's got to be so exhausted here or something, because like, not the giant. What is happening with this art concept? Is it supposed to be like an amalgamation of like everything ET related? Because we've got aliens, we've got the Matrix, we've got something that kind of looks like the worm from Dune. I'm sorry, that's never gonna not be funny to me. That's never gonna not be funny. Is it a slinky? Is it a trash chute? It's not needed. Why do we need this? There's nothing impressive about singing upside down. It almost seems like she's just doing that to prove that she can for no reason. Do you know what's also happening? The rhythm and the momentum and the energy of the song is overtaking Katy Perry, meaning that like the staging and the choreography is not living up to like the potential energy that that song has. Like, in my opinion, it would have read much better if she had come out in like a big fancy car, with like a bunch of beautiful women, and then like let the dancers do their thing and like let her travel the world, and maybe something like anything would have been better than this weird like dance competition high school musical thing that's going on right now. And then she wouldn't have been so gassed while she was singing, because this is that type of like almost like pageant number in a way, to where she could just be like being gorgeous, and like, I don't know. I see this number at dance competition all the time, and it hits more there. But like, especially for California girls, I don't know, give me anything. Give me some like cute girls in like their bathing suits with like a cute car. Give me like throwing beach balls. Give me that type of choreography. Like, give me some hot surfer dudes. Like, I'm just saying, like, why are we still in this weird techno garb too? Like, I just don't understand. What is this? I don't understand any of this. I don't know why this is giving so granny to me. I don't know if she's just like a little bit too turned out with her legs, so it's like kind of an awkward like little thing. Like, this bounce is kind of not working for me. Okay, kickball change and a weird facial expression. Let's hold on. I have to look at that again. That kickball change does not warrant that intensity of facial expression. I'm sorry. Here we go. It's just not working for. Okay, so obviously we're building up to something now. There has to be something new and worthwhile waiting for, and we get this. Okay, I just don't feel like this is smart art direction. Maybe that's just it. Again, I just feel like this would have been so much more visually impactful, even if we had had Katy Perry just like front and center with like the pyrotechnics behind her and maybe a few little fans, right? And her just singing in her glory. And like it comes across funny instead of powerful. It comes across almost like satirical. Body looks great. Here we go. All that for that. And I also wonder like how effective this was like being in the audience, because even here up close on video, she gets so lost being ground level with so many of like this smoke and like the pyrotechnics of it all that like if I didn't know better, she could just be like a backup dancer here. It just seems like we're doing things just for the sake of doing things. What does this have to do with kissing a girl? It just seems like spectacle for the sake of spectacle. It kind of feels like you're at your friend's beginner pole dancing aerial silks class that they insisted on taking and they wanted you to come and they had like an open house for friends to come see. Like, I just don't know what we're doing here. Some people may like this costume, but I don't understand what's going on. This is still, there's something about this costume, even though her body looks amazing, that is giving like old granny underwear to me. Maybe I'm old, maybe I'm out of touch, but this is just weird to me. She looks amazing, but like, what is this outfit? I just think that so much of like the direction that they took this tour seems pick me, because it's like trying to prove that like, look how great my body is. Look how I can spin upside down, when we don't really care about any of that stuff. We just want to hear you sing your hits. I'm sure this was cool like in person. See, there's something about even like the static way that she has to just sit there and hold her body on this weird butterfly alien disturbing looking thing that also is not working for me either. And I'm sure that that wouldn't have looked that noticeable like if you were actually at the venue, but there's just something about how she's sitting there that looks so passive and looks so like I can't move because I'm afraid I'm gonna like fall down. I think what doesn't work for me in this moment, and again, I know that this only applies to like watching the video, not like being there in person, but there's something so like contradictory about the feeling of freedom in this song, you know, like this song used to be such a banger, right? But also like moving at like a snail's pace, and also her having to sit there this passively. There's just something about the tone and the energy of the song that is not matching the energy of her body language and the visual. If anything, for the purposes of like the video of the tour and like the close-ups that they know that they're going to get, put like a $5 budget fan in front of her, just so that like we can help the momentum of feeling like, yes, you know, there's energy here. And even though I'm moving at a snail's pace on this weird little alien thing, I'm kind of soaring through the air.
Like, it kind of reminds me of when I was in middle school in South Carolina and I did the community theater's production of Peter Pan. And I always felt very weird singing the lyrics, I'm whizzing as Peter Pan, because I wasn't whizzing at all. I was literally like hanging there. And I remember feeling so stupid because I was just kind of like moving across the stage.
How does this tour seem so incredibly expensive and so incredibly cheap at the same time? I just feel like there were so many missed opportunities for Katy just to be able to sing. Like, that's what your backup dancers are for. Like, I don't understand why she's in with her backup dancers so often, ground level, doing these weird little kickball changes, obviously struggling with fatigue and stamina. You know, like, let's have a good old return to like some of these classics, you know, in the good old days before like we were in the upside down world.
I feel super connected to love.
We don't need this weird reinvention to prove that like you're young and still relevant. And
You know, I've always been interested in astrophysics.
I wasn't ever good at math. Is math related to science?
like that's what it's giving to me. What did you think?